In this video, we'll be installing a Steahly Offroad flywheel weight on a 2009 YZ250F. Steahly has designed these flywheel weights to help smooth out the power of your motorcycle and increase traction. These weights reduce stalling at slow speeds and when you're using your rear brake. They're an excellent upgrade for your bike and help make a lot of riders faster. So when you open up the package, you'll see that Steahly provides you with every part needed to install this flywheel weight. If you don't want to drain your oil, you're going to want to just lay the bike over on its right side. If you're running a skid plate, you'll most likely have to remove it to be able to remove the left crankcase cover. We'll just go ahead and remove ours. And then next is your shift lever. Remove the pinch bolt so you can slide the shift lever off the shaft. And with that out of the way, we can go ahead and remove the ignition cover. Loosen all the bolts in a crisscross pattern to avoid causing any damage. And then when all the bolts have been removed, carefully remove the ignition cover. At this point, you'll want to inspect your stock ignition cover gasket. If it's worn or ripped at all, you'll want to get a new one. The next step is to remove the flywheel nut. This can be a tricky task because you have to find a way to lock up the motor. Most people will use an impact gun to back the flywheel nut off, and with this there isn't a need to lock up the motor. If you don't have an impact, you can either buy or fabricate a flywheel holder. Or, something that's specific to this bike is if you take a 5mm hex key wrench, stick it down in the engine case bolt at the front of the motor. When the counterbalancer comes around, it will stop when it touches this wrench and allow you to back the flywheel nut off. This is a regular nut, so turn it counterclockwise to remove it. All these methods could potentially cause damage to your motor if you aren't careful, so be very cautious when using them. So after the flywheel nut has been removed, we need to remove the washer that was sitting under it. It's necessary that this washer is removed because you never want to run a washer with a flywheel weight. We had to use a couple picks to get this washer out. And now we're ready to begin installing the flywheel weight. First we need to attach the supplied tool to the outer face of the flywheel weight. Do this using the two supplied 1/4-inch bolts. Go ahead and snug both those bolts down. You're going to want to inspect the end of the crankshaft to make sure it isn't bent and that the threads are not damaged. If they aren't, go ahead and thread the flywheel weight onto the end of the crankshaft. Make sure the weight contacts the flywheel in the same spot that the stock nut did. Now we're going to use the same method to lock the motor up as we did before. Then you're going to want to be extremely cautious so you don't damage your motor at all. That's in place, take a 1/2-inch drive torque wrench and torque the flywheel weight to 40 foot-pounds. Once you've got it torqued down, remove the 1/4-inch bolts and special tool. You're going to want to keep this in a safe place, just in case you need to remove the flywheel weight at a later date. Next, we're going to tighten down the 4 set screws that are in the flywheel weight. Steahly has included the correct size hex key tool with the flywheel weight. So using that tool, we're going to barely snug down each set screw. It's critical that this weight stays centered and even on the crankshaft. After each screw snug, we're going to finish tightening them in a crisscross pattern. Tighten each screw until you get approximately 4mm of flex at the end of the supplied hex key tool. So go through and double check to make sure they're all evenly tightened. And now our flywheel weight is installed. We're going to use a little contact cleaner and a rag to make sure our sealing surfaces are clean, and then reinstall both dowel pins so they can help us line up our gaskets. Once those are in place, go ahead and sit that first gasket down into place, and after that comes the spacer. And then on this bike we were able to reuse the stock gasket, so we just left that in place. So with that gasket in place, just sit the ignition cover back down over the flywheel. Reinstall each bolt back into its original hole and then tighten these down in a crisscross pattern to avoid causing any damage. Refer to your service manual for proper torque specifications. Next, reinstall your shift lever, make sure you tighten the pinch bolt, and after that reinstall the skid plate. Once those are in place, we're done with the flywheel weight install. Make sure you recheck the set screw tightness after the first 30 minutes of riding, and then with regular maintenance after that. For more information on the Steahly flywheel weight, check us out online at Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com. And thanks for watching.